Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're all enjoying your new year. I know it's been a while since I did more of a tutorial slash long form sort of video, since I've been uploading those live stream snippets recently, but I wanted to come back with another remake, especially since the only one I've done was back in August. Today, we're doing Sorry Mom, I'm Making Breakcore by usedcvnt. Somebody else in the comments of the Sewer Slut remake that I did had asked if I could remake another song, and I tried, but I couldn't really get there yet, so I used this usedcvnt song as another building block to sort of get up to the level so I can remake that last song. But regardless, if there is a song you want me to remake, or at least try and remake, comment that down below. I'd also like to say thank you so much for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers on the main channel. It means a lot that there's 1,000 people who want to stay tuned in to my music. I also want to say thank you for this channel almost hitting 500 subscribers. Right now, we're really close, and I don't know what I'll do yet, but I know for the 1,000 subscriber milestone, I'm going to release 2 extra songs that should be up on my main channel by the time that this video goes up. And I've been working on a drum and bass kit a little bit recently, so that'll either come out as a 1,000 or 500 subscriber milestone slash thank you pack. But that being said, let's get into the remake. And again, if you ever have any suggestions, just don't be afraid to comment them down below. I'm doing my best to learn. So for this song in particular, or this FLP, you'll need 2 extra plugins. You'll need Vital as the synth, and then you'll need OTT, both of which are free and are relatively easy to download and install, so there shouldn't be any issues there. To start off with this remake, I took the main sample, right-clicked it, extract stems. There were no vocals, or the vocals really are just part of the think break. So I extracted the 3 stems, and then as I was doing the remake, I grouped it up. So when you open the FLP, it'll just look like this. You can click the drop-down menus, and you can mute, the stems in the original song. You can keep the original song up. You can just play the stems, do whatever you want. To start off, we got this pretty simple pad. It just plays the same chord over and over. We are in A sharp minor, by the way. And I put a little fruity convolver with one of the blur presets on. I think it's the blur white, and then turned it down to 73% in the mix. And then we have this bass that just kind of alternates between these 2 notes. Just a simple respace, pretty distorted. I believe all the distortion is within the plugin itself. I used this preset I made called Beefy Reese and just tweaked it a little bit to suit the dynamics. And then this sound is pretty in the background. I guess it'd be an ARP, maybe the lead. It sounds like this. Very subtle, just in the background. It is also attached to the same mix as the pad. And that's just because it's like in the background. It doesn't really need to stand out that much. The drums start off with this think break, just as is. I believe I grabbed it from the breakcore is not a great way to get laid sample pack. And you can find it in the breaks category, and then Collins 1. It's time stretched and then pitched up to match, make sure the vocals are higher pitched. So that just kind of plays out like this. Very simple stuff. And for the mix of it, it's turned down. It's got reverb. I believe it's on the small studio preset. Then moving on more towards I guess the initial drop, we have this little vocal chop sort of thing. And that is taken from the think break. It's taken from that initial drum hit, and it's pitched all the way up, and then I went over here and pushed it up too. I believe what this does is if you do pitch it 12 semitones up, you can push this up, click and drag this up for a little bit more high-end range. So we got that playing sort of throughout this main part, and it comes back in at the end. And then this is where some of the stuff that I might need a little help with, or you guys might know how to tweak better, comes in. We have this amen break. Layered with this kick. And that combines to make this sort of sound. I did this because in the main song, let's play the stems just in case there's copyright claims. I know it doesn't sound great there. Those kicks hit like a little harder than the normal amen break, and I tried doing stuff where I like boosted the low end and all this, and it wasn't really working. So I hooked these two both up to a drum bus, and it has reverb and OTT on it, just like this, for the compression, and just, try and give it that extra little kick that it needed. And then I made the break with the kick, this comet break, which is also part of this breakcore isn't a great way to get laid drum kit. I believe it's in like the 160 section. Yep. Just so it wasn't too overpowering. And altogether, the drums sound like this. And then real quick before I forget, we got the melody, which sounds like this. Pretty simple stuff. Then we get to this section, which is the hardest section of the remake. Or initially, I had made a looperator thing, but it didn't really work the way I wanted it to, so I chopped it manually. But also, you got to pay for looperator, and I didn't want there to be a price tag barrier to entry to access this FLP. I added an EQ to cut out some of the high and low end, so it's a lot of like mid ranges. And then I chopped it up a lot because in the song it like chops, and then like tapers off at the end. So I did my best to mimic that, and I just did the same sort of stutter chop with every element that plays here that I could hear. If you can tell, the bass, you can hear it like fading in, and the bass fades in the original song, but I couldn't figure out a way to really like get it to stutter fade in. So if you know personally how to do that, you can either fix it yourself or comment that, tell me how to do it, point me to a tutorial on how to do it. It is what it is. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm not usedcvnt. I don't know how they made it. If you're watching, I'd love to know how, but I don't think you will be. But that's okay. And then we have this volume automation on the master that comes in and out during the track. So at the start, it will sound like this. and then out it sounds like this. Pretty simple stuff. And then again, just one last look at all of the mixer channels. There's really not that much to it. Oh, for the vocal chops, I did add a low cut just to make sure got all the noise from the kick out, so it was, just the vocal you were hearing. But other than that, that's it. Again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers on the main, and thank you for getting us so close to 500 on this channel. This FLP will be available with a link in the description. It should have all of the samples you need, and as long as you have Vital and OTT installed on your computer, you won't have any issues trying to open it. If there are any issues with it, please let me know. I'll fix them as fast as I can. I'll let this remake play, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching.